Starting this video with a recap of making Swiss meringue buttercream, you want to start with your 4 room temperature egg whites in your mixer bowl. You can add in cream of tartar to help loosen your egg whites or not. Then you're going to add in your sugar to your egg whites, so anywhere from 3/4 of a cup to 1 1/4 cups of sugar. You're going to mix that over a double boiler until your sugar dissolves and melts and your egg whites are nice and hot. Then you're going to move your mixture to your mixer and whip your egg whites with your whisk attachment, gradually increasing the speed of your mixer from the lowest speed to the highest speed. This should take about 10 minutes in total. You want to stop the mixer when your meringue has increased in volume or doubled or quadrupled in size, really. Your egg whites are nice and stiff and shiny, and your bowl is a little bit cooler than body temperature. Once you've cleaned off your whisk, you're going to switch it out for your paddle attachment, and then you're going to gradually add in your 3 sticks or 1 1/2 cups of room temperature butter to your meringue. You're going to do that on low speed, and once all of the butter has been added to the bowl, you're going to increase the speed of your mixer to medium speed to really work the meringue and the butter together to form your buttercream. This takes about 4 to 6 minutes. Then you're just going to scrape down your paddle, scrape down your bowl, making sure that all of your meringue has been incorporated into your buttercream. You'll run the mixer again for about 10 seconds. And then you'll repeat the steps of scraping down the paddle, scraping down the bowl, and then you can add in any flavoring you want to finish your buttercream.
This is the bowl that I'm going to be putting my prepped strawberries into. It's already on my scale. My scale is zeroed out so that I'll get a good reading of how many strawberries I have, and if either I'll need more or I don't have to use all of the strawberries that I prepped. So these are the strawberries that I've prepped. They've just been rinsed and they're just sitting on paper towel, drying out a little. I did about 9.2 ounces of strawberries just because we're going to be cutting things off and that affects the weight. Alright, so I'm just going to really try to dry off any moisture that's on the strawberries with paper towels. So just like so. And then I'll do that for each strawberry as I go along, just so I know for sure that they're as dry as possible in the moment. So I just took off the calyx right there. And if you compost, you can compost that, but if not, you can just set it aside. And now I'm just, if you can see, sticking in my paring knife at an angle, going around in a circle just to get out the just to hull the strawberry. Also, you can compost that if you compost. And now it's just chopping. Slice in half, again in half, and then I just like to cut it in 4s. And that's how I chop my strawberries. And that right there, 1/2 of this whole strawberry is 0.3 ounces. So I'm just going to keep going until I reach my 8 ounces. So I started out with 16 strawberries from like medium small size, and they weighed 9.2 ounces, and this is all 16 of those strawberries chopped and whole, and it comes out to 8 ounces exactly. So I'm super pleased. So now the next step is just to add the strawberries to your blender, your food processor, whichever you have. So, and now the only thing left to do is process the berries. So here we go. I'm on the lowest speed possible just because I don't think it's going to take that much power. So here we go. anything that's too complicated, and I'm just using my paring knife to get the berries that got up on the sides of the bowl down. So just, puree the berries until they're smooth and you don't see any large chunks. But I personally am not bothered by 1 or 2 chunks of strawberries in this mixture, so I would stop at this point. And that's what it looks like. You see it? It's a little thickened, but there's still bits of strawberries in there. You don't have to take it this far. You can stop even earlier than I did. In fact, you could have stopped when I stopped mixing to get the bits of strawberry that were on the sides. You can totally stop there. So now the next step is just to add this to the buttercream and to mix it for about 2 minutes, just to make sure everything is combined. So I've got my mixer here, my bowl with my buttercream. My paddle is as clean as I want to get it right now, and I'm just gonna take out the blade from my strawberry puree, and now I'm actually gonna add it in while the mixer is running, just because I don't want to add it all at once and then have it splatter all over the place. I feel like we've put in a respectable amount of effort for this strawberry puree, so I just have the mixer on speed 2. And I'm just gonna add it in on the side like so. And then anything that doesn't come out of the mixer itself, when I stop, anything that doesn't come out of the food processor bowl itself, right here I'm gonna stop the mixer. I'm gonna lift up the mixer head and I'm just gonna scrape in any residue that's left.
I didn't realize at the time how bad horror film blood scene this appears. I want to apologize for that. I know it looks really unappealing, but I promise it really does get better.
And I could actually spend all day here just doing this, but I'm going to stop right here at this point. And leave what little strawberry puree is left in the food processor bowl and there. So now, instead of scraping down the sides of the bowl, I'm just going to mix it a little bit more to get in these bits. And you can see it looks a little bit broken right now, and that's just because of the moisture in the strawberries.
At this point, you want to scrape down the bowl, scrape down the paddle. Just make sure that you've uncovered any unmixed parts of the buttercream. And then you'll just start the mixer again and run it for a minute and a half more. I didn't realize that I had such a difficult time saying strawberry. I can say straw and berry and it's not a problem, but together there's an issue. I wanted to clarify that there's 1 1/4 cups of sugar in the strawberry buttercream and 3/4 cup of sugar in the vanilla buttercream.
So there is the strawberry buttercream, and because there are actually bits of strawberry in there, their texture is not as smooth as it was with just the egg whites and the butter and the sugar, but I'm really pleased with the results. So this is it.
Instead of pureeing the raspberries like I did with the strawberries, I just add the whole berries to the bowl and use the force of the mixer to break them up. This is 6 to 7 ounces of pre-washed and dried berries. I do the same with the blackberry buttercream. Because these berries were a little bit sweeter than my strawberries and blueberries, I only added 3/4 cup of sugar to my meringue, and for the strawberry and blueberries, I pureed the berries and added them to the buttercream, but I also added 1 1/4 cups of sugar to my meringue. Once you're satisfied with how your buttercream looks, you are ready to move on to the next step, which is storing your buttercream for use.
this is the bowl that I'm going to put my raspberry buttercream in. And once I stopped the camera, I whipped it only for 30 seconds more. And this is what it looks like. It tastes pretty good. It tastes fresh, which is exactly what I wanted. And I'm just, scooping it out of the bowl with the same spatula that I've been using. And the bowl I have is just a Pyrex bowl. I don't know if I mentioned that before. It can be anywhere. It can be a Tupperware bowl. It can be a metal bowl, plastic bowl. It doesn't matter. Just whatever bowl you have handy that you want to use. All right, so that's the mixing bowl. It's pretty clean. It's not, like 100% clean, but it's pretty clean. And so now what I do is I just get in there with my spatula to try to get rid of any air pockets that are in there. And I mean, it's not something that's majorly necessary. It's just, if you're gonna be using this later, or you're looking for a certain amount of buttercream, if you don't want to put your bowl on a scale, you can just evenly distribute it in the bowl to get a general idea of how much buttercream you have. This is about 3 cups, or somewhere between 3 and 4 cups of buttercream, which is more than enough for my purposes, but I wanted to show you the full recipe of these things in case, you are making a cake and you want to use just this kind of buttercream for your cake. Now that I've gotten the buttercream in the bowl smoothed out the way that I want it, I just cover it with plastic wrap. And this is not a step that you have to do. It's an optional step. And I just do it because I don't just use these Pyrex containers solely for buttercreams. I use them, in my everyday life for any kind of leftovers I have. And, sometimes the lids hold on to the aromas of the foods that were in there before. So that's just why I cover the buttercream with plastic wrap in the bowl, just to make sure that there's a barrier between the plastic and my buttercream. And that's it. You can, just leave it out, excuse me, if you're going to be using it right away. And by right away, I mean, in the next 6 hours. Or you can store it like this in the fridge for, I believe the recipe says, up to 3 days, or up to 1 month in the freezer. So again, storing it this way also will protect it from moisture in the fridge and the freezer. If there is any water or condensation that gathers, it will be just on top of the plastic wrap. It won't touch your buttercream.
We made it to the end. The excitement is real. Inside my excitement level is like a combo of Snoopy when he did that happy floaty jumpy dance, and the hand puppet from PetSmart who's super excited about stuffed things. I just realized that those are both dogs. Okay, anyways, it's not the point. Like I said when I started, meringue buttercream is one of my favorite things to make, and I really hope that I shared that with you. I hope that you learned something, or at least you had fun laughing at me, laughing at myself, or laughing at my random statements, which I think are hilarious. Or you just had a good time just watching and listening. I want to give a quick shout out again to the purple pants and the orange Crocs because they are amazing. I am so sorry. It is very late. I guess I want to say, if you have any questions about anything that I've shown or anything that I said, please do not be afraid to ask a question. And if you just want to chat about random baking things, you can do that too. For sure, 100%, I will respond to any questions or any comments about anything that I've shared in these videos. So yeah, I guess that's it. I want to quickly say, Blanche, you were right. This is way better. It's a lot easier to get my point across. I will not, however, commit to saying that the guidance and direction were necessary. Yet another random thought. Again, I'm so sorry. It's really late. I should probably delete that. Alright, that's gonna be it. Bye.